Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back here with Big Deck Energy to talk about 2 hours of Below Deck from Monday night. And boy, are things getting a little crazy with this love triangle. Here with me to break it all down, the co-captain of our Below Deck podcast. It's Sasha Joseph. Sasha, how are you?
So good. I had to wear my mess crew neck
Oh, this
because
is,
listen,
crossover mess magnets episode.
what have we gotten into, right? Like they said, okay, Scandival is over. Now we have a new thruple for you. Don't
Mhm.
worry, everyone. Bravo got you on
Yeah.
your mess.
Now, Sasha, that's such a good question, and such a good point that you make. Okay, so of course the hottest thing is on Vanderpump is this love triangle that happened and cheating and all of this stuff. Is it possible that this is fake? But like these people can't be like actors like this.
No, I don't think it's fake. And I do think that is there like production being like, Gary, isn't that crazy that you and Daisy had all this chemistry and now her and Colin are together? So I do think there is some like nudge, nudge, wink, wink, but
Mhm.
not a full on lie.
Okay. Well, I'm really looking forward to hearing what you have to say about this because you and I have not gotten to talk about this before the show. And I really would love to know from you the heroes and the villains of this story because
Oh my God.
I think everybody is bad. I think they're all I think they're all a bunch of babies and being like totally immature about this whole thing. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing your breakdown of all this.
Yeah, agree. Because I think Colin is like the babiest of the babies, but then like
Mhm.
everyone else is a villain. You know what I mean? That's my problem. Is that no one comes out clean. Not one person. Even the chef. I was like, girl, like, please.
Yeah. And
Everyone is taking L's.
And maybe do I become the villain also when I say like Daisy, this is your queen. This is who everybody is going to be like falling over themselves.
Listen, we support women's rights and wrongs on this podcast. And this
Sure, no
time it's
doubt.
very
No
much
doubt.
wrong.
Yeah. She seems like a nice person, but I don't get it. Like I don't get why like everybody's fighting over Daisy.
Listen, I think that there is,
Half
some
the episode, Sasha,
attraction.
was about how loud she snores.
Oh my god. It is what it is. She must smell good this time.
No.
I refuse. I refuse. No, Daisy, stand up, girl. Please stop
Mhm.
this. Gary is literal hot garbage. Like, stop this. Don't
Mhm.
go down with that sinking boat. Gary and Percival together forever.
They deserve each other.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel that Daisy is going down the wrong path. Spoiler
Mhm.
alert.
Yeah.
And methinks they leave Colin out of it. Poor guy. Because he's
Mhm.
catching strays.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this was really like I think this was like very messy, very
Oh my
sloppy.
God.
We had like just like the one nighter on the previous episode that we saw, and then basically like they set them up with like a private cabana and like an overnight trip. It's like who thought this was a good idea?
The production. That's
It's like they
it.
did not deserve this.
Listen, they said, mess is happening, but we need more alcohol because them having to come back to the boat at night is like throwing everything off. People are being too normal.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is do a whole day off.
All right, do a whole day off, and that's what they do, and it just leads to all of these fireworks, Sasha.
Oh my! Okay, I don't understand what people are thinking. Why is Gary motorboating Daisy? Like, none of that
I
made sense, and I don't even know if that's this episode or the next. I'm so confused, but I could not believe it, okay? Because and poor Colin. If I were Colin, I think a drink would have been dumped on someone.
Yeah, I mean, Gary, like, I don't get it. Where okay, Daisy is with Colin. She seemed happy, and she seemed like she was like excited about the whole thing with Colin. And then Gary is like, "I'm gonna blow this whole thing up," and it's like, okay, she's with Colin. Like, do you? It's like, well, like, been there before, so like, I got my hand stamped. I can still do whatever I want. It's like there's no boundaries.
No, that's what I'm saying. It makes no sense. And I am on team Gary is the biggest baby ever and
Hmm.
attention whore because I can't with him, right? Like he has Mads. He's been complaining and moaning about when she doesn't say good night to me. It's my birthday. Be nice to me. And then all of a sudden, he's motorboating Daisy. He's like, Daisy, I love you. We should be together. No. Okay, no, you're a child. You should have been grounded more as a kid, and you don't have any idea on how to act when things aren't yours. And women aren't things, but I'm just saying he is treating all of these like women as his playthings, and finally, there are people that aren't hitting back, right? And are like, or are hitting back, sorry, and aren't like falling for his BS, and he can't handle it. And look at him, pouty baby.
Yeah, but then he'll go right from like, oh, like Daisy, like remember this, and then like Mads, come here, like he'll go like bounce off of them.
No, he just
What the freaking hell, Gary?
be for real, right, Gary? Like I can't. And how is no one calling this out? You get what I'm saying? That I think is my biggest frustration with all of this. Like Daisy is like, "Oh, you were with Mads." Da, da, da. No, I would record a video, right, of being like, "Here's you with Mads, and now here's you trying to talk to me. Explain this first before you talk
Hmm.
to me," right? That is the only way. And I don't know why she's even giving him the time of day if she likes Colin. That I don't know. That's how
It
I feel.
almost seems if I was going to make the case for Gary, which I am not, but I feel like that I think that Gary's argument would be like, hey, I would be with you, Daisy. The time that I was with you was amazing. And he said that a couple times, which was pretty gross. And he like, I want to be with you. You made me keep it a secret. You said we couldn't tell anybody, and because you're making it be a secret, then I'm having to go to my other options, which I will do, but I would prefer to be with you.
He's oh my god, like he literally is like a dog. He's a dog, a dirty
Mhm.
dog. Cause he's like, "Oh, well, this person doesn't wanna pet me, but I know someone else will, so I gotta go." And I want to fight him so
Mhm.
bad. And I think it really bothers me when people don't get their comeuppance. And, on Watch What Happens Live, Mads and Chase were on, and they had a whole, like, "You guys don't s we you see everything, we don't, blah, blah, blah." Everyone's seeing this. The waiter is seeing this. Captain Glenn is seeing this, baby. This is not hidden. And the fact that none of y'all are holding him accountable and are just letting him do dirt, you know what? Maybe Colin is not so bad.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me ask you, because a couple people in the chat want to know. Maximus Mom is asking, dying to know why Daisy is so mad at Colin now and fine with Gary. Makes no sense. Sarah says, I need to know what happened with Colin too. Why is Gary golden?
Yeah, I think we'll know in the reunion. I think that's the only way because
Mhm.
currently they're being super coy about it. I looked up a bunch of stuff too. And again, nothing on that situation from Watch What Happens Live. But Mads did say Gary is the better option for Daisy. What? And
Okay.
yeah, and Chase said, of course, Colin. But so again, what are we missing? Number one, or is it like they deserve each other, right? They're so messed up and a hot mess. Three, I think that Colin maybe is a grown up and draws some boundaries, but goes about it in a maybe not so great way.
Yeah, Colin's being a baby too, also about the whole thing. Like, he's
She didn't
really
cheat on him.
right. Right. I mean, I don't know. Like, who is it? Is he betrayed by Gary or is he betrayed by Daisy?
Why not both?
I don't know. I feel like he's betrayed by Gary, but it's like taking it out on Daisy. And it's like, dude, you're just spiting yourself. You're pushing Gary and Daisy closer together.
Yeah, I agree because I think that every time he ignores them, right? Like we see it, they both end up looking at each other. They're doing the like, I don't know what's going
I'm mad
on.
at you.
Yeah, you're fumbling the bag so hard. And again, it's like now we have to ask, who is fumbling the bag more, right? Is it
Mhm.
Alex or Colin? Because this is all bad.
I did feel like in this episode that Alex and Mads, I feel like that there was like some, at least like some chemistry there at the very least.
Yeah, I think that unfortunately Mads is very much where the wind blows, Mads will go.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Alex just needs to be a little bit more, is aggressive the right term? To like follow, like not
Forward,
follow.
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe yeah, because I don't mean in a negative way. I just think he needs to be like,
Yeah.
I like you. Let's make this
Yeah.
happen.
In fairness to him, I mean, she did tell him like, "Okay, go upstairs. I'll be right there." And then like Gary like intercepted her, and then he had to pass out sleeping again. He might have narcolepsy also.
I think he is over their like nonsense is what it is, but maybe it's narcolepsy because how do you just go to bed, right? Like you were so excited and then
Mhm.
he goes, oh, I guess I'll just F myself, and next thing you know he just goes to sleep.
Mhm.
I'm
Yep.
confusion because he was being pretty assertive or mean to her almost, right? He's like, are you gonna come upstairs? Is this gonna happen? Come on, what are you doing? Let's move. So I think he's over her. Like he's just like, I'm tired of your mess.
Mhm. Yeah, because then you keep getting sucked into like basically you're like by proxy, like the fifth spoke in the love triangle.
That makes no sense. Nothing is adding up. No math is mathing. I'm tired of these people. Be grown-ups. You're 30 plus years old. Get your life
Mhm.
together. And I'm talking to the heads of department. Okay, y'all are pissing me off.
Should we talk through this trip that they end up going together? Because there was just like
Yes.
so many different parts of this that were wild.
I can't. Yes, let's do it. I don't
And of the
understand.
2 hours, the first hour was definitely more stuff going on.
1,000. Yeah, I was like, okay, I literally finished the episode and was like, okay, that was
Hmm.
cool. But first of all, before we even get there, I can't stop laughing at all the cutscenes of Glenn this episode
Oh yeah.
because Glenn is like on the like surfboard or whatever that is, living his best life, his yacht babying all over the world. He's having his food in the disgusting hot tub, and I couldn't stop laughing because I think that's what I'd rather be doing than dealing with this
Hmm.
horrible
What
mess.
about when he was like in his bed listening to the tape about like the mating of the whales?
It are the whales his deckies? Because please, okay? Because they were talking about the whales have multiple partners. You mean Gary?
Yes. Yes. So the whales are a metaphor.
Yeah, for all of this, what was
Hmm.
going on. Okay, because I can't. I just can't. Okay, anyway, yes, I think we should get to the trip because I'm tired of these people.
Hmm.
We did have we did have Gary's birthday party, which Glenn came to. First time appearance because of course
Hmm.
that's his man's. We love to see it. Gary had a little like "Don't be mean to me, Daisy" moment because Daisy was like, "Let's all have shots for the amount of times Gary has hooked up with stews."
Hmm.
We don't wanna die, Daisy, we wanna have fun.
Hmm.
And then, besides that, whatever, it was like a little moment,
Yeah.
and then it's the, like, full day out, which happens a lot, by the way, Rob, at least once or twice a season, they get to go on, like, a whole rented out cabana moment. So this isn't new. Drunken hijinks ensue
Yep.
because they're all there, and then we start with Chef Elisha and Colin's
Whatever.
moment.
Useless chef.
They have a moment because Colin is talking about Marcos, who unfortunately, again, it could be because Marcos was dating a production person, but Marcos looked like really great. He was like chef's kiss with all of his food was on top of it, was attractive, right? Like great
Hmm.
package. He had a chunk of his
When you say
head.
he was a chef's kiss, like,
I
he
would,
would he would kiss the food?
No, I'm just saying everything about him was just
Okay.
wow. That's
Okay.
all. He cooked for a dictator, and he was like, I cooked for a dictator before, so nothing will phase me.
Mhm.
And while one of the sailings was happening, yeah, a literal chunk of his scalp came out, and he
Why?
still
What
went on
happened?
cooking
What
because he
happened?
hit his head.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it just kept cooking, like Vibes only, baby. So Colin is like Marcos. Wow, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
so great. He was like, amazing, implying that he was better than the current chef. And I was like, "Are you all right? Are you
Mm-hmm.
really that drunk that when someone asks you, the voice of reason, Chase says, when a woman asks you to compare, you say you're the best.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, she goes and cries in the bathroom. Welcome
Whatever.
to chefs
Whatever.
being
Yeah.
temperamental.
Yeah.
Because it makes no sense, right? But Colin's a grown up and does go and apologize pretty quickly. But this is where I'm like, Colin, I think you're losing your fan base a little bit. Like, calm down, calm down.
Mm-hmm.
Then enter drunk Gary, where it
Drunk
all goes to
Gary.
hell.
Is he already naked in the water yet?
Not yeah, I think that's the end after the
Okay.
motorboating. But he comes in and he's like, Daisy, you got a model body. Which again, is she a model with daddy issues? Because then that's Alex's type. So like maybe you shouldn't say that. Then they start laughing, and Colin is just like watching Rob
Yeah.
all of this. I d- I don't like flip a table, Colin. Do something. Like
Yeah.
I don't. That is too docile for me because my feelings would have been all the way hurt.
Well, I think he's trying. Like he's like, okay, well, this is my friend, and then I'm also this woman that I am interested in. I don't want to be like a total crazy person, but this is weird, right?
Very weird. I just needed, I think, someone to validate slash egg Colin
Mm-hmm.
on. But
Yeah.
Chase, I think, was in his like HR era because I was like, why are you being normal? I don't like this. Come back.
Mm-hmm.
Come back to being the menace. That's what we'd like. So then, yeah, they have a whole moment, and we get confessionals from Colin being mad, but in the moment, he's just like laser eyeing them. They don't give two F's about Colin.
No.
They're again, all of this is going on. Then we get a Mads and Lucy moment.
Mm-hmm.
So funny because Mads is like, "Do you think I take this guy serious? Look at him." Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, he can do whatever he want. Like, look at his personality. And this is when, again, he's in Daisy's cleavage. Which, if you're hooking up with someone else, don't be in nobody's cleavage. That is not that
Mm-hmm.
person you're hooking up with. It's weird.
Right, right. I mean, and basically, like he's like doing like what Chase said he wanted last week. He was trying to go for the luge.
Oh, that's so true. You know what? Here's the thing. If you want to be chaotic, go full chaotic or full tilt,
Mm-hmm.
as the other reality TV people say, because let's drop some tequila, right? Like, let's egg Colin on to act up. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
tired of this. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want this docile nonsense.
I feel like they kind of did a survivor challenge at one point. They were like, all right, let's tie our hands behind the back and then like let's wiggle to the ocean. Like, why? Why are you doing this?
I just say because they are drunk as hell and they're like, what should we do? That's right. Act like beached whales
Mm-hmm.
and make it into the water.
The
And
the whales have many mating partners.
Gary, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they all end up, of course, in the water. Gary has now taken off his pants and asked who wants to swim with Gary. Not one person. That is
Yeah.
that's assault, Gary. Stop it.
How many times have we seen Gary naked this season?
Just this episode, probably 17,000
Mm-hmm.
times.
Yeah.
God. And then we do get a moment, right, where Gary is like laying his head in Daisy's lap, begging her for a kiss. Why, Rob? Why?
Mm-hmm.
And
And then he
I
gets like totally butthurt. Like when if like Colin is like we're having a moment with it, like I guess Colin and Daisy are getting very close together. Like, yeah.
and meanwhile, Alex, Matt can't even hold Alex's hand. The irony, the hypocrisy, the audacity that
Yeah,
this guy
pick a
is.
lane, Gary.
No, he wants it all. And the problem is, up until season 4, he has got it all. So bad behavior has been reinforced for 2 seasons. Okay. I can't with him.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get to dinner. Again, we see a weird, almost naked Gary. Why, production? I don't want it. And then Mads is like sitting with Alex rather than Gary. But again, we get nothing between these two.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Mads is trying with Alex, but Alex is kind of like, no, I'm not trying to ruffle Farquaad's feathers. Like, this is good for me. And Gary has a whole moment of like, oh, I want to sit by Mads. Shut up. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, why is Daisy holding both of their hands? I don't even know if you noticed that, but her hands were like this in both chairs.
Yeah, I mean, like she really I think that she does like she's conflicted. To me,
Yes,
my read on it is that I think if she could pick, she would pick Gary, but
correct.
she can't wrap her head around. She says it like in the second episode. She's like, yeah, and he's always having sex with all the stews, and he's like sleeping with my roommate. And it's like, I think that she cannot respect herself if she is with Gary, even so her brain is like, no, Gary is bad, but I do think her heart is like, I want Gary. And
Correct.
then like her brain is like, well, what about Colin? Colin is right here. Colin is good.
And he wants you and only you. Like,
Yeah.
wake up, girl. My
But
God.
Gary.
Again, like, oh my God. What is it? Like, it must be a hammer or something that he knows how to work because I don't get it. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
just look at him. And then, of course, we get the moment because then they go and walk off and start talking. And we get the whole Gary says, listen, I know deep down you love me. What? I think
Mm-hmm.
we need to be together, but that's clearly not going to happen. Am I in the Twilight Zone?
Mm-hmm.
Because why? Gary must be an Aries, I need to find out his birthdays because when he's with you, he makes you think like, oh, you're, like you're my number one. And then 2 seconds later, he'll move on to the next person and make them feel that way and think nothing wrong at all.
Hmm. Yeah, so
So
when was this episode filmed? 'Cause it's Gary's birthday. He's Gary King,
oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay. All
Yes,
right.
yes. Oh, yeah, famous
So
birthday.
his birthday is July 12th, and that makes him a Cancer.
Oh, Cancer men.
Mm-hmm.
As a Cancer, unfortunately, Cancer men, okay, it all makes sense. I think that when he's in bed, I
Yep.
think he's got it going on, is probably what this means.
Mm-hmm.
And he must make yeah. He probably gets, like, talking wise, like, conversationally very deep with them and, like, makes them, I'm assuming, feel very special. So he's not oh my
Okay.
god. Stay away from Cancer men, everyone,
All
please.
right.
Uh,
Got
speaking
it,
from
everybody?
experience.
Yeah.
Speaking from but listen, I'm chaotic and I'm a Cancer, so I get it. Like, we will have people in blenders. I
Mm-hmm.
understand. So Daisy does, like, kinda drag him a little, but turns out bombshell of the season. Gary says, "Well, it was beautiful when we hooked up twice."
Okay. All right.
Oh my god, I think I almost fell off my seat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we couldn't I don't know, I feel like we would've it's too
Yeah.
much.
Well, he starts off and says, I wish that I didn't have COVID. Said many people with COVID, I think.
Yeah. The
Mm-hmm.
pillow, Gary's number 1 arch rival. Get it again. Oh my god, I can't, right? The challenge rivals, Gary and the pillow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he ends up saying that he's like, oh yeah, the sex with you was amazing. And he basically like spills all of the tea. And Daisy's like, shut up, Gary, shut up. Not here, not now.
I can't. Oh my god. She literally is like, "Shut the F up," and look straight at the camera. Oh my god. Daisy did do a whole not interview, but something like that. I read an article. Basically, she said that, she feels like he did it on purpose and that it was tactical.
Mm-hmm.
Is he smart enough?
I mean, he's so drunk. I don't know. I can't say that this is like a plot.
Right? I can't. And we do get a confessional of her naming like, listen, we had sex end the season last year, which is
Minorca.
crazy. Yeah, which Rob, it's crazy. He hooked up with 2 people and was about to hook up with the third stew. There was a new stew that came on because one quit, and he was about to hit on her until Daisy like intercepted that. And now
Mm-hmm.
you're telling me Daisy was almost basically number 4.
Yep.
Stop
And
this.
then after Minorca again at Disney.
World's happiest place. Happiest place on earth, baby.
Happiest place on earth. Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so funny. And I again looked up all of this. So turns out they went to go see Chef Marcos which is the chef from last
Mhm.
season. And
Yeah.
then they went to Disney.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Kelly in the chat brings up an interesting point. Okay. I think Gary was upset that he was Daisy's dirty little secret, but she was out in the open with Colin. Yeah, I think that is part of it, right? Where that Daisy didn't want anybody to know that she was with Gary.
Yeah. I I don't know. I think that we get a moment, right, where he's like, "I don't mind. We would have been a secret," which I agree, Kelly. I just think that he is a petulant child that wants his own way. I think if there wasn't a Colin or Daisy hooking up with anyone, I think the secret would have been kept.
Mm-hmm.
Because he would have, right, just like flirted with her a little bit and then gone back to Mads, flirted with her a little bit, then gone back to Mads. I don't think it would have been a whole thing because he would have been in charge. I think losing losing any sense of control is what's bothering him on the boat with his deck team and with the women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think that if Daisy wasn't doing anything with anybody, Gary would have been fine with this whole arrangement. But once she was gonna get with somebody else, whoa, ho, ho, I gotta this can't be happening.
Yeah, because if again there isn't anyone that Daisy's hooking up with, I think he gets to have his cake and eat it too on his birthday and not. So that's why I think it works. But I understand it. I think all of this kind of comes to an head because of Colin.
Mm-hmm.
So the power Colin has on all of us. I get it. I get it.
Okay. Now allegedly, this is like Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Daisy says to Gary, you have to promise me you won't tell anybody what happened. You must keep this promise.
I know. I couldn't stop laughing because no promises were kept. Should someone be beheaded? Is that what happens in Game of Thrones? I don't know.
Yes, that should be what happens here to all of them. But which is it, Gary? It's like, I am honor bound. I gave you a promise. I would never tell anybody. I can't break my promise. I'm on. That's why I had to lie to Colin. I did it for you because you told me not to tell anybody. Then why'd you tell everybody? Well, then why'd you tell everybody, Gary? Which is it? Did you keep your promise or did you not keep the promise?
Why'd you tell all
You're
of
the one that
America?
told everybody. So which is it? It's like, oh, I can't lie. I can't lie to Colin. You told me. Keep the promise. Keep it a secret. I had to. Then why you blurt it out?
Because he can. He plays all these games, and I did not
wanted to
sign
lie
up
to
for
Colin.
it. Ooh. Do you think it was on purpose because he knew Colin's reaction?
Yeah. Yeah, he knew he was being a bad friend to Colin.
Should we go there? Because eventually Daisy does end up telling Colin.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, get out of my room.
I think that would have been my reaction too, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have been like, ew, this is over. Like, I suspected, but now that it's a for real thing, I think I would have been like GTFO.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't be.
Well, maybe Colin can't look at her the same way after, oh, wait, you were with Gary?
Because here's the thing. I think Colin and Gary's relationship is that Colin gets to be like the alpha in a way, right? Like he gets to be the smart one, the put together one, the living.
I'm not a mess.
Yes. And then the fact that his, partner in whatever way, right? His person for the moment has hooked up with the mess friend and not him because allegedly, as of right now, they have not had sex. I think that's an ego issue too.
Probably. Yeah.
And listen, like I said, I'm toxic. That would be a problem for me. And I would have been like, bye. Like, what? You got me on TV looking a mess? It's over. No, there's no way. And I would be annoying and pouty. Like, and I'm telling you, I know it's toxic behavior. But the point is, like, if my friends kept a secret from me that they hooked up, and then I'm about to hook up with one of them, oh, no. I'm a vindictive lady. I couldn't do it. So, Colin, you're a baby, but I'm with it.
Yeah. And he's like, why wouldn't you tell me?
I don't know why that's not the first thing she told him, because I think she knew he would have a problem with it. I don't understand. And my favorite thing is that even Mads goes, Gary's a grown toddler boy.
Yeah. Well, that's my favorite part of all of this is just like the reaction of everybody that's not them on the boat. Chase, Alex, Mads, Lucy, like they're all like, this is very dumb. This is we don't want any part of this. We're embarrassed for you.
I'm telling you, like, why is Chase in his HR era? I don't like this, Rob, because he's so angry that everyone is hooking up in his cabin. He said, I should have been the Captain Glenn's cabin. I took an L on that. That's number one. Secondly, he's like, now I gotta sleep with a bear. Because what is Daisy snoring? This too much.
Yeah,
and then,
Colin even was going to come in with like the headphones you wear in like the engine room of the boat.
Yeah, that was so funny. I enjoyed that. See, this is how I'd be petty. Maybe I would just like really hurt your feelings like that. To be like, no, you're really not great at blank. Like, because I'm mad and you hurt my feelings.
You're not great at sleeping quietly, Daisy.
Yeah. Horrible. And it was so bad. All of it together is just a recipe for disaster because Daisy just knew, right, that this was a ticking time bomb. She needed to tell Colin before Gary did. Because do we think Gary was about to tell Colin?
No.
Right. Okay.
He was never going to tell him.
No, I'm saying now that Gary said it on camera, would he have told Colin like the next day?
I don't think so.
Ooh, I feel like he's messy, so he would have.
Maybe as like if he wanted to tell Gary, not like to be a good friend, like just to like F with Colin's head.
Yeah, not to be, no, absolutely not. Or to like put another wrench in this hookup or this possible relationship. Because again, I feel like this could have been a real relationship, but now it's a situationship, and I'm not happy because I want them together.
They seem like that they had some chemistry, and I don't know if they recovered. Do you think moving forward that Colin and Daisy can figure this out?
I want them to. I think there is a way forward, but the only way forward, how I would see it is that Gary and Daisy's relationship has to be amended seriously. They can't just be all over each other all the time. And then she goes and makes out with Colin, right, in front of Gary. Like, I think that's so weird to just like go between two guys and then like make out with Colin. I'm also not a PDA person, so what do I know? But it's weird. I don't know. I just feel like she's toying with them a little bit. And I think you have to cut Gary off, which she's not ready to do. So I wonder if he says that to her after to say, you got to cut him off and then we can have this conversation.
And so then in terms of like the Gary and Colin of it all, we see them have some conversations. Daisy is like, oh, I'm just like so distraught that the friendship could be ending over me. Like, she doesn't care about the friendship.
And
stop it.
Am I being, maybe I'm just mega generalizing.
Go for it.
Yeah, but do guys I feel like guys get over this kind of stuff
See,
much faster.
I don't have any friends, so I can't tell
Well,
you.
also, we hope no one of them are hooking up with, they
No,
no.
but there's lots of like men's friendships that, especially if somebody cared about like the other person, like
Oh,
I
I
think a
see.
lot of guy friendships end over this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let me know, y'all. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I am my guy friend situation have never been in this way, so I don't know. But you're right. I
Mm-hmm.
think if it was serious, then it could end a friendship. Okay.
Sure, sure.
I'm willing with that.
Because I think the idea is like, there's so many women. Why did you pick this one?
That's
Like,
correct.
she should be off limits now, moving forward. And that's
But
probably a Neanderthal way to think. But I think that's how people think of like, no, not her. Pick a
I
different
think
one.
it goes both ways. Yeah, and I think same. It should be like, no, not him. Anyone but him. If anyone is watching Summer House Martha's Vineyard, maybe
Mm-hmm.
spoiler alert.
Or Euphoria.
Yeah, but in this latest episode of Martha's Vineyard, Rob, one person who's like really good friends with this other girl's boyfriend is here from Germany. Um, friend who is single got fully naked, like completely in the
Okay.
hot tub with
Okay.
everyone, and boyfriend was in said hot tub. So friend is mad that we're supposed to be friends and now you're like butt ass naked in the hot tub. So I feel that this happens all the time in and folks should just know their friends. And you
Mm-hmm.
know that Gary is a hoe for show. So
Mm-hmm.
we know, like you just can't bring him around
Mm-hmm.
your friends.
So Daisy is like, oh, Gary, you should apologize to Colin. He's like, no, I'm not going to. I won't apologize. Like, all of a sudden you're so tough, Gary.
Like get out, get over yourself. Jellyfish,
Mm-hmm.
spineless jellyfish, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm tired of it, Rob. I want them to have grown-up conversations, but I know that if I were in this situation, you wouldn't
Forget
catch
it.
me having
Forget it.
any grown-up conversation.
Sasha, let's
Ooh.
talk about some of the stuff that goes on with the boat over the course of
Yes.
these 2 hours. We talked about this last week of what was going to happen with the plumbing. This was just gross, but ultimately, no harm, no foul. Figured it out.
And can you imagine how horrible it must smell down there? Like, already it
I
must smell
prefer
so
not
bad.
to. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
And then Colin coming to tip meeting, I can't get the taste of ass out of my mouth. Why? I don't need that. Like, stop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of that. And it turns out it was the girls. So again, we support women's rights and wrongs here.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. Poor Colin.
So
Colin and Alex.
when we get our new primary to come through, this was what was this woman's name?
Oh, right. Let me go to my notes.
Y-
It's with an S.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Shagina?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shagina?
Sagina?
Sagina. Maybe Sagina. Sagina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes more
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
So her and her family come aboard. They seem very nice. They want a Caribbean feast. It all works out. They're very impressed with the chef. Unlike us, they say she's on fire. You know what else is on fire? The frickin' boat.
Rob, I think you need to say it calmly, please.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Because
okay.
nothing's wrong.
Well, this is what I want to talk about with like tying this back to the love triangle. That is Colin off of his game and not focused on his work because of the love triangle. And is that why there's problems with the boat?
Ooh, because I feel that way about Daisy. So that's interesting that now you're saying this about Colin. I think yes,
Because I feel like
75%.
Gary was saying that. He's like, hey, like you could be mad at me, but you still have a job to do on this boat.
Yeah, I think that Colin maybe just doesn't want to deal with Gary, so he's like nothing's wrong. So like I don't care. Stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Personally, I don't think that this has anything to do with the love triangle. The boat breaks every episode.
The
There's
boat
always a fire on this boat.
Daisy said it, die at the bottom of the
Mhm.
ocean. There no lies have been told. Parsifal has been failing all her life, and Parsifal is at the end of the rope. Why are we still here, Rob? I
Mhm.
don't understand.
Yeah. The boat has a lot of problems. They were pushing it too hard. They're going too fast.
Yeah, listen, and she was like, "Oh, my guy Colin is getting wrapped up with another lady. I don't like that. I
Mm-hmm.
gotta bring his attention back to me." So
Mm-hmm.
Parsifal said, "I gotta do something. I gotta put some smoke out. No fire, just some smoke,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
that he comes back to me."
There wasn't too many problems with the charter. There was one issue where somebody had to ask for a pina colada, and Glenn hates that when a guest has to look for the crew.
Okay, okay. Because here's the thing. Maybe I'm making mountain out of molehills, but they are too. Glenn, there are 3 stews on the boat. You are one of their direct bosses, right? Direct supervisor. So if all the other stews get to go on breaks and all the other deckhands too, right? Like they're very particular about breaks. Like you have to take your break when it is your time. But Daisy, every time she's on break, it feels like the boat is like in hell. The charter guest can't figure it out because why can't you just be like, "Hey, Mads, can you make someone a pina colada?" Like, what is the issue? Why does this woman need to pause on her break?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. And I feel like as a supervisor, he should know better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of it.
We had our Caribbean feast, oxtail stew. We had a
Yeah, you
cake.
look good.
Um, let's talk about the cake. All
Ooh.
right. Cake came out good, and then we put the cake away. All right. Does anybody want any more cake?
Half a cake was left. I went and looked back at how much
Okay.
was left, just, for the record.
And so what happened? Did they throw the cake out, or they left a slice out and then put the rest of the cake in the refrigerator?
I think that they gave half the cake to the whole crew, and
The
they said,
Bravo
"Have at
crew.
it." No, the like actual, like
Yeah.
the Chase was eating it.
Well, Chase ate it. Like, I think the episode made it seem like that Chase ate they said, okay, in case they want any extra cake, let's put a slice out. And then Chase ate it.
Oh, so Chase ate the slice. Oh, I misunderstood. I thought Chase just like ate the
I don't
half
think
the
he ate
tray.
half the cake.
Oh, that
Maybe the
makes
chat knows exactly what happened with the cake.
yeah, chat. Okay, got it. So, yeah, okay. So then I think that they either put it away or I think everyone just had a little bit because I saw Daisy, eat some. But again, it could have been a bite or a whole piece. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Daisy definitely ate at least a bite and was like, this was really good. So, me thinks the cake was passed around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are we thinking that this is going to be a thing that these nice people are going to be like, hey, where's the cake, a-holes?
No, I think that they will be able to put a slice together. I think is what's going to end up
But what
happening.
are they taking the pieces from? The garbage?
Because in the at the end, it felt like Mads was like kind of putting together, like
Mm-hmm.
engineering some slices. I think we're gonna get a really ratchet, busted up slice
Mm-hmm. Maybe
for this
everybody's super
man.
drunk.
Yeah, just give it with a shot or 3 or 7 of tequila. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's how you make that cake like pass because I don't understand, Rob, how half a cake can just like not be given to the guests.
I think they were done and they wanted more.
I think that's normal, no? If you like a cake, you maybe want 2 slices. Alex goes, "Adults don't ask for another piece of cake." I said, "Am I not an adult?"
Yeah.
Alex, go
Yes.
to sleep.
Now, these weren't the Johnny cakes, were they?
No, because it seems like the Johnny cakes it came from the ancestors. Because Maximus' mom says this in a chat, and I agree. I don't know that we've seen guests crying because the food
Yes.
was so
Well,
good.
yeah. So I make fun of the chef of not being any fun on the show, but she did a very good job.
Yeah, agreed, and I
Mm-hmm.
think it was just I don't know, I feel like it was a really beautiful moment, right?
Johnny cakes.
Of of it being like this reminds me of an ancestor that has passed on, her grandmother, and the chef, since the dawn of Below Deck, is known they've all needed positive reinforcement. This is, again, the bare basic thing that chefs need, and chef is like, "So what do you think? What do they think?" 'Cause, right,
Mm-hmm.
she's
Could
she
Marcos do this?
Yeah, right? Because she already has a chip on her shoulder about Marcos. Now and, and not knowing Caribbean food, like cooking it. Daisy, open your eyes. Give her some feedback. I don't understand. That
Mhm.
was wild to me. Because then
I
when
think
Chase
Chase came back and said like, "Oh, they said, 'Who's the chef? She's on fire.'" So good.
exactly. And I think that listen, Chase has really redeemed himself, Rob,
Mhm.
for
He's
me.
back. He's back after the boob luge stunt from last week.
Now he's on boo boos instead of boo blue.
Mhm.
Cause and why did we have to see the chef's hand or the thumb, like the skin being ripped off?
Mhm.
Stop it!
Yeah,
I
they
hate
were
it.
really reaching for material in the second episode because we also got the storyline of Lucy was gonna get her grades.
Okay, Lucy. I don't understand it. Okay, because Lucy, we want you to graduate. Listen, I love her. She's the sweetest.
Mhm.
But if she was not failing, I don't think we needed it. I think at the end we could have gotten a nice like Mazel Tov. You deserve all the good coming your way.
Mhm.
But like, please give me a break.
Mhm. Yeah. No, that was very uninteresting in terms of Lucy's school.
Agreed.
Mhm.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my
What
god.
else from these 2 hours?
We did get a moment of which I just thought was funny, Colin talking to his sister
Oh,
about
yeah.
all of it, and and the sister being like, "I mean, if you hooked up with Gary, wouldn't you wanna keep it secret?"
Mhm.
I listen, that's a ride or die right there. I don't have
Yeah.
siblings, but that's what a sibling I'd want.
His sister's his guru. I was trying to figure out who's he talking to?
Yeah, his sister or his life coach.
Mhm.
Oh my god. I don't know. It was a lot. Everything else was fine. Like I said, the beach picnic was a lot or whatever. Was it a yeah, I think it was a picnic.
Yeah.
It was chill. Daisy herself had to go because a girl is always needed. And there was an alcoholic rum punch and a non-alcoholic rum punch, which I did not understand. So outside of that, I think we're good. We don't have anything else. Just a lot of childish idiots, and I'm
Mhm.
tired of it.
Okay. Where do you think we go from here now?
I think
I
that
mean, these people
we
are no drama. They're very nice, but overall, we're not bringing a lot of mess to the below deck.
no, because unfortunately or fortunately, everyone's really good at their jobs. So
Mhm.
I think that a one pina colada or maybe five or whatever, right? Besides that, I think, and maybe the cake gate. I think they just have to drink a lot and you have to kind of be a little bit of a douche. I don't know why production isn't bringing more jerks on the show.
Yeah, people that are gonna be harder to handle and be more difficult.
Yeah, or like at least
Just
have
do it,
them.
you cowards.
Thank you. Karen was the first and last one standing when it came to mess.
Mhm.
Justice for Karen for
Yeah.
being horrible,
Like, these should
obviously.
be, like, the tryouts for being on, like, The Real Housewives. So it's like, "Okay, this is the finals of casting for The Real Housewives of Topeka. Okay, you're gonna go on the below deck."
I love this because we have had below. We have Cynthia
Mhm.
Bailey was on below deck. So I agree with you. I feel that they need to get like, hey, we want to put you on Summer House, so we're gonna have you on this one to make sure you bring the drama and you're messy.
Yeah, are they that hard up for the people to pay their own way for the thing? I feel like wouldn't Bravo get more out of just putting, like, good people on the boat every week? Not that the
More
show needs that much more drama.
Exactly. It's either that or Lolly is saying you will need to watch a season where the crew sucks at their job. I think you will not like it because
Oh.
I watched Below Deck. Was it Adventure, y'all? Yes, Adventure. And I swear to God, not one person was good at their job. Not one. And it's not fun because 'cause you're like, "Fire all of them. They're all
Mhm.
stupid." But when the guests are messy, I think it's more fun because 'cause you're like, "Ugh, rich
Yeah.
people."
I mean, not for anything. I mean, sure, the chef is doing a good job, but is anybody on the Parsifal, like, that good at their job?
I mean, did
They're
good
fine.
enough.
They're
Yeah,
fine.
they're not incompetent. I'm telling you, there have been some incompetent
Mm-hmm.
people, like people who can't throw lines when they're docking, which
Mm-hmm.
causes drama.
Yeah.
So there's issues with there,
Every
but
episode is about how that we're almost gonna crash the boat, but it's really like they just need that for like to having the next time on to have like something like exciting, like oh my god,
I thought of you when I was watching that next time on because they're not gonna crash the
they're not
boat.
gonna
Like
crash the
there's
boat.
no
Like oh my
way.
god, we're too close to the other boat. What's gonna happen? Stop it.
M- Only one great chef's not chef. Oh my god, Captain Sandy moment from Below Deck Mediterranean is, is that there was someone on another boat that radios them at the middle of the night and is
Mm-hmm.
like, "Hey, I need you to move the boat." And Captain Sandy is like, "Give me the radio. We're not moving. I am confident in how I dock my boats and how I do anchoring that nothing will happen. If you want to move, you can do it. Bye." And just
Mm-hmm.
like I was like, "Yes, this is the drama I like." But outside of that, if they crash the Parzival, I think it is a plus for everyone.
Yeah. Well,
But it's not happening.
yeah, especially for Daisy. She would love it the most.
I think I would love it the most because I'm tired of this boat. Colin probably would be doing somersaults.
Mm-hmm. Or
Then
Summer
it's over.
House. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
One or the other. Okay. All
But
right,
yeah.
Sasha. Anything else from your investigations of the below deck crew?
Yes, we had Watch What Happens Live with Mads and Chase. The Hot Wheels judge, Dalal El Sheikh,
Okay.
was the Hot Wheel was the
Hot
bartender.
bartender. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that was great. And anyway, so for opening question, Chase, how do you end up with 65-year-old? What's going on? Chase admitted that that is a correct statement. He loves older women and they love him. So
And he
think
said, like, hey, if I'm one slip and fall away from like what $10 million, he's like that's a that, that's a plus.
we've cracked the code. Is
Mm-hmm.
the thing.
Yeah.
Eric in the chat says send the orcas and truer words have not been spoken.
Mm-hmm.
Just the what the there I think the orcas are only attacking one thing too. Anyway, then we do get a have you heard from older women in your DMs? Chase's whole mood shifted. He said, "My DMs are a scary place. I don't like it." So I think people are being mean to him in his DMs. Stop. Just listen to us on the pod. We're being mean enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chase said, but the DMs are also a little weird. And he said, please don't flirt with me. Stop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then we did have like later on, but I just want to wrap up the Chase stuff. Later on, they had like a Tinder thing, like a swipe left, swipe right thing for Mads and Chase. And Chase, first of all, thirsty, and he called him. He's like, I guess I'm a hoe because he swiped right on everyone. And this is for the chat, even on Camille, everyone. I don't get it. Camille sucked, Rob, from
Okay.
last year. Anyway, so Andy asked Chase, would you like to be set up with Countess Luann, who is
Okay.
a
I know who
older
she is.
woman?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Yes. So Chase said, yes. Can we please do that?
Okay.
And Andy sends
She has
text.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, there's a type here. And Andy texted her during the ad break and then yelled at Chase for his Instagram being so crap. And he said, "You don't have enough thirst traps. Countess is not gonna like that. So we had to send her extra pictures of you." So
Okay.
next BravoCon, if we see Chase and Countess together,
Mm-hmm.
you know why. And then for Mads, she did say she didn't know that Alex was interested, and she did wish that she pursued Alex.
Facts. Yeah.
And yeah, that was a big thing. Oh, and then they did like a Gary versus, Alex game, and everything about Alex is like has impressed her. Alex has BDE, not big deck energy, but the other one. He
Mm-hmm.
makes her laugh. He's the one to meet the parents, and the only thing Gary got is Gary's clingy.
Yes. This we knew.
Yeah. So again, me thinks that Mads, I think, knows she fumbled the bag.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big one. And then the last thing is that, again, Chase in his HR era, I think they both got a lot of press because Chase was like, Gary is a lot. He made a lot of mistakes. He didn't do a walkthrough for us. So we kind of learned only when we got yelled at, blah, blah, blah. But, we're all like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Chase, no, give me mess. So yeah, everything else was kind of boring, so I just wanted to, give, the highlights of Watch What Happens Live, and that, Maddie understands why people would want to hide hooking up with Gary.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah,
All right.
but that is it from
All right.
Watch
Well,
What
we're in
Happens
our
Live.
2-hour below deck era right now. So
Yes.
next week we got another 2 hours of below deck coming up on Monday. Looking forward to seeing what's going. I wish they would have timed it with the charters that are over 2 episodes. Just have it all in one night. Like that would be so much more
Agreed.
easy to talk about. But that's not what they want to do.
No, because I think they're praying that these charter guests, there is some drama, right? Or they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna just manufacture through editing. Cake. Oh no, cake gate.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, Sasha, what's coming up for you this week?
Yes. In addition, of course, to being here, I'm over on Mess Magnets where we
Yes.
chat celebrity gossip, hot topics, vibes only, you name it. We're talking about it. If you maybe saw Zion Williamson's name all up in the Twitter streets, go check out Mess Magnets to see
Mm-hmm.
why and what happened and why he also is actually in a love triangle. We love to see it. Okay. So check all of that out on Mess Magnets, and Never Have I Ever is starting. So I will be on Nothing But Netflix with you and Chappelle talking Never Have I
Can't
Ever
wait.
plus.
That's going to be very fun.
I'm so excited, Rob. Just get ready for toxicity. Like, please.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be then kicking off our coverage after that on Silent Podcast as well. So
Kickoff
Chappelle
show.
and I will, yes, check that out.
What? I'm
And
being bumped?
no, after you,
Mm-hmm.
please. If you want to join, as if,
Mm-hmm.
I'll bump Chappelle, no problem.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
What?
looking forward to
Yes,
recording that one, which peek behind the curtain. We're recording later on tonight. So it should be this is
yes.
a fun doubleheader with Sasha here today. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to check out Stars on Mars as well, that I'm covering with Jenny Autumn. We're in week 2 of that show and everything else we have going on here on RHAP. It's a podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.